live stream, professional live stream. That's very right. I'm live streaming right now. I'm late for the live stream. I gotta talk to you while I'm talking to these. Hang on a second. There it is. There we are. There it all is happening now. Oh, it's real and it's happening. It's a live stream with your BFF, your best friend forever, with the What Wait Media Group. I'm super pumped. Let's get excited as I come say hello to everybody out there and tell you who you're about to know. So I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, the Prince of Promotion, the King of Commotion, your Master of Ceremonies, and the Ambassador of Entertainment for all things nerd, news, and media here happening with What Media? Yes, it's very exciting. So that's what's about to happen. I just want to give you a little introduction as to who you're hanging out with. I brought a little bit of a nerdy resume right here. I carry it with me everywhere I go. There it is. But let's get the hang out. Whoa, that's a little bit. We can go. Oh, there we go. Because that's how you have a podcast happen. That's the truth. Go look for it there live. That's the spirit, right? It's Wait What Media Group. Go find it. Is that what it is? Wait What? Yes, that's with spirit. Let's get going because I got a lot of stuff to show you and a lot of stuff to talk. Hang on a second. I got all this stuff here. We got this. You got to look out for those. My 20-sided one is not available. Oh, I brought flowers. We've got flowers ready to go because we're talking about lots of stuff and the feng shui is how you get things going today. What is this thing? Don't forget that there. I think it's going okay. We've got this. Don't forget, you got to look out. Look. You didn't see that. This is a little bit of that special invisible kryptonite, all right? Look at that. Don't look up. Don't look down. Don't look left or right. You got to watch for time distortion here when we're hanging out. But the thing that I wanted to show you was a little bit of the past because that's what I'm here to present. What I brought is my yearbook, and I've got a few comics that I've made so that you know that I'm the guy that you want to hang out with and that you can trust when talking about all this nerd culture and news and everything that's been happening here in the world of pop culture. So I brought this little resume. Why, it's my yearbook. Do you know what's in this yearbook, folks? Why, it's a little picture. Well, I got to draw it right there. You can see Commander Data. My biggest enemy that we're about to face right now is depth of field. But right there he is. There's all these nerdy things because I'm a bit of a cartoonist. And not only that, quite the nerd myself. I've been owning it since I was a young lad, a wee kid, because I was the guy that literally was doing this in high school and even in grammar school, owning that Star Trek and boldly going where no one had gone before. Popularity. That's right, I was not inhibited by my nerd culture. I loved it the most. So much so that my quote was live long and prosper in this yearbook, as well as things like doing the old Star Trek, because that's what you got to do, and that's what we're all about. It's a lot of positivity for me because PMA all day. So we've got that, and then you grow up. And I produced some comics, that's right. Negativity does take over, and I created this comic book character called Pissed Off Panda. Pissed Off Panda, he's the smallest giant panda in the world, and that's why he's got a huge chip on his shoulder. So I produced a couple of comics throughout my times, then other personal comics, and attended probably over 100 to 200 Comic-Cons, producing all this stuff and having fun in the world of comics. Now, as I've gotten a bit older, what I like to do is teach kids how to draw comics, and I do that with this thing called the Comic Bookmobile. So I like to teach kids how to draw comics and drawing comics in all different styles and shapes and different types of things because it's all about telling your story. And we're going to talk about all the stories here because we've got a ton of them happening because news is always occurring and we're always having this constant onslaught, this assembly line of media and promotion. So this company here came and got me, and they had a friend show up, and they said, you know what? We've got someone who's fit for the job.
Frank!
Yeah.
You got a co-host.
That's right! It's right! That's right, Chris, you're right! Let's get her on in here, because I'm not here to do this alone. I've got a few fun surprises, but, you know, we've got old friends here that you've known this whole thing for a while. So let's get her on in here. Excuse, Avery, you here yet? I'm drowning! I need some help. Hurry up.
You've been talking too much. I've been waiting.
All right, I'm not talking too much. I got to say hi, and I'm very excited. How long was that? It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't
too bad. Avery, get down. Hang on here.
The things.
We've got to move this. Don't wait. Did you eat something? I told you got to eat something.
Thank you.
I brought a few things. I brought a few. I only got to meet Mom for a moment a little bit ago. Because I'm just sneaking on in and everything's been going really good. You can tell I'm very excited Very excited to talk about everything that's happening. Avery, you should probably sit down. I don't know what you're waiting
You kind
for.
of blew up all over the table, buddy.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I brought a lot of stuff and a lot of things to talk about. All the fun things that are happening and everything. There's a lot of fun and games. This is just how it is.
I mean, we could make the argument that I started working here first.
Well, sure.
So I think you're going to have to make some room.
What?
Make some room.
I paid for the aisle. What are you talking about?
Some room.
You gotta go that. Just go here. It's fine. Go this way. There. Go get around
this?
there.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay.
You've got it.
Wait.
Wait. Don't look at that. We got that.
You got your stuff
I think
everywhere. Hold on,
there's
take
a
that?
few things. I just brought a whole filing cabinet. Are you there?
I'm comfortable.
Are you?
Am I good?
Get it?
Am I
I
good?
think so.
You
I
good?
feel good.
Do I got to scooch in?
I feel great. Look, we're the
Make some
right
room?
heights. We're the right heights. We're fit for a king. Fit for a queen. Fit for nerd culture
Yes.
everywhere. It's very good.
See, I get the tall chair. No.
Look, there's a little bit that way. You got a seat
No.
there. There. This is our. There we go.
I don't like
I
sharing,
feel good.
Frank.
No, yes you do. We've been
I
having a
know,
good
just
time
kidding.
hanging
We're
out.
having a great time.
Avery and me got to know each other working here at a local radio station, and then Avery came and did some of this, and then they were looking for some of the fun action and activity that a guy around town does to help talk about a podcast.
Podcast.
Yup. So that's what we're here to do today.
We absolutely are. We're here to launch a podcast, not just talk about a podcast. We have a whole podcast for you right now. We're going to be continuing every Wednesday from now on, so make sure you follow us. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Patreon. You're watching us right now either off of YouTube, Twitch, or possibly Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Hi.
There they are, yes.
They are right there. They
Go
are right there.
like the page. Austin's hanging out. Michael's hanging out. There they all are.
Hello.
And look at that. And it comes, oh, look, I'm doing all right. I'm
He's
hilarious.
hilarious.
I'm
Dude,
trying.
he is, though.
This
He's
is
so
why
great.
it's been really fun to get to hang out with someone who, again, you're friends with, you meet, but then you want to not try to make your friends. I always say this thing. Don't make your friends do the things that you want to do. Make friends with the people doing the things that you want to do. So Avery, when she reached out, I was very excited because I do a live stream every week. I do it from the radio, always about just like nerd, and it's more of like a goal cast and that sort of thing, being really positive and just going for it. And then this is like the dream gig. Being able to do this and talk about all the stuff, share the culture, talk about all the
Have
stuff.
fun with it,
Yeah.
build a community.
Yup.
Love it.
It's
I
my
love it.
favorite thing. It really is. Because remember what I was talking about, the Comic Bookmobile?
I love the Comic Bookmobile.
A lot of what I do with that is I like to go and I make inspirational posters for children and for adults and kids of all ages. Remember, you can do everything. There are no limits except for the limits we put on ourselves. Just keep learning the fun stuff. You can do it. You can do it all.
Do it all.
Do it all.
That is my life.
Right?
Always do all of it.
The main
I
one that
agree.
I
Here
like,
we are.
teamwork, because teamwork makes the dream work.
You were prepared. I am so proud of you. Look at all this great stuff.
I was very excited. I always have this sort of thing around. Again, I drive a Comic Bookmobile 1969 VW
It is
bus.
beautiful. I got to see it today.
And I go-
I wanted to take a ride.
Pretty
Not
fun.
gonna lie.
Pretty fun, right? And I teach kids how to draw cartoons and comic strips, and I teach them about identity and enrichment and like just fun, being yourself, being your own original character.
Which is hard. It's a hard thing to do and
That's
figure
right.
out, and you need a good positive outlet for that. So I appreciate that you do stuff like that.
That's what
which
it's
is
all
part
about.
Of why I was excited
It's
to
the
have
truth.
you here.
It's the truth.
Mike, I got
We
it.
got mics. We got a
Mike.
couple of mics. It's Frank. It's Avery. It's Mike's. Chris back there.
This mic wants to
There you
be a
go.
little crazy right now.
I know that was my fault because I had to go make it all like that.
Okay, I think I got it.
We'll
We're
get
good.
it. We'll
We're
get
good. It's there. It's in front of my face.
It's been really good.
Is it moving? Actually, it's sliding now. Sorry.
No, we're doing
Help.
great. Because that's the other thing. We have an audio podcast as well. We're going to be able to rip all of the video from the... Look at that. Down in front. Down in front. We're trying to do a professional podcast.
Wild
Professional
Chris appears.
podcast here. I don't know what's going on. We're just trying to do... I don't know. I paid for good tickets. I don't know whose
paid for
tickets he
good
paid
tickets.
for. The VIP area seems to be all the way in the front. And now we've got a person over here flippity doing all these things.
Flippity doing.
Yes,
Dude,
I'll
this-
get, sir. Thank you very much. My word. That said, I think it might be time to get on with the show.
What? We have a show?
We've got a
We have
whole
a
show. We've got a whole
show?
thing
That's
prepared.
great.
A lot of news, a lot of everything. I got to get a
stuff.
Twitch link over to Austin. I don't know how you do Twitch links. Go find it on Twitch.
Austin, it's going to be twitch.tv/Wait What Media Group. Give us a
go.
follow. We'll give you a follow back, too. So thank you. Thank
That's
you very
what you
much.
do. I remember it by Wait What is alphabetically, A before H.
A before H.
Wait, what media group? That's what you're doing. So go hang out there on the YouTube there. They've got a Facebook page. They've got all these things, Twitch, other things like that. I'm sure they're on all the whatevers
Patreon,
exist.
YouTube.
BitBot, Flip Flap. Don't forget Zip Zoop. That's one of the best ones too. They're great. All of them. All right?
I think you're great too, so thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have you tried Flubbity Dub? That one's all the
not.
rage. It's going viral
I'm
soon.
sure we'll get there.
I love
get there.
So, speaking of getting there, let's get to our first headline story.
All right. Where are we starting?
Fired!
Fired.
Fired.
Not ever what you want to start with,
Nope.
but we're doing it. We're
That's
doing
right.
it today.
As I start a brand new job, someone at DC Comics has lost their job.
And that would be
Dan DiDido, or DiDido. It depends on if you've ever heard his name said by someone else. But
He
Dan
should be
DiDido,
a superhero or a bad guy with that name. That was a great name.
you can tell.
I
Just look
like
at him.
it.
I mean, look
Just
at him right
look at
here.
him.
Obviously, Superboy Prime's got a problem with
Yeah.
him. All right?
Ooh,
Dan
ooh,
DiDio's
ooh.
getting a little bit of I don't know, face palming because he's out. He was one of the co-editors there at DC Comics. Him, Jim Lee, doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But after a bunch of years now, suddenly fired and let go from DC Comics. There was literally a meeting that was even happening at a con, and some people were there. DC Comics was supposed to be represented.
Yeah.
And then
At a con?
Yep, at like some
Ouch.
convention. I didn't get all the details because I'm not a real newsman. I'm not wearing a tie. Come on.
newsman.
But I got some of the skinny on the whole thing, and that is one of the things that is going on. It was very sudden and it was abrupt, and some of it might have to do with the fact that DC is going to possibly go in a new direction,
Got it.
and it's called. You know how you've heard all about this 5G. And I don't mean the 5G that
Are we gonna
Verizon's
get
trying to tell
paranoid
you.
really quick? No, I'm just kidding.
No. 5G. Turns out that 5G stands for fifth generation.
Okay.
So comics, Golden Age, Silver Age, modern, all that stuff. It's been going, but now it's been another chunk of time. So some of what it is that they're trying to do another generation, and what might happen is it's time for Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, as we know them, to once again try and perhaps retire, and the mantles get passed on.
Interesting.
It's an older generation, and this might be where DC goes, which is fascinating, but I'm not a fan. I like Clark Kent. Look out, watch this. Superman, there he is. Spoiler alert, okay?
That was bold. That
know.
was bold, buddy.
You got to be breaking the stories here on the live stream. That's exactly right. All right, Austin's in there. Of course, there it is. All right, I'm very excited. Austin, there he is on Twitch. He's been wanting something from us guys in a while. It's very exciting. But that's what's been going on over at DC Comics. Let me tell you what. Dan spoke out today, all right, or maybe a day ago, and he said he's overwhelmed and humbled by the outpouring of love and support, all right, and it leaves me at a loss for words. First time for everything, because he's a writer. He's written a bunch of these DC reboots, New 52, and some of these other things.
So he's been a big part of this the whole time.
Yes.
Okay.
For about a decade.
Yeah.
All right. And he wrote in a public Facebook post, so instead I'll turn you to what he nearly said about 5 years ago. April 10th, he posted recently a video that just sums up how he feels. Love to all of you. And he included a 1.5 minute video of a speech he gave roughly 5 years ago. So a lot of things have happened when it comes to DC Comics. The future, a little rocky as far as the rumor mill, because you want to know some of the other rumors, Avery? I know you don't follow comics as much as me.
I don't, so please shove it down my throat.
What? Avery, this is a family-friendly podcast.
No, I gotta
reel
reel you in. I'm trying to corrupt Frank.
Don't
and
you
he's
dare!
Not
Absolutely
making
not.
It easy.
I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever. Family-friendly.
No.
Keep
No,
it
no,
clean.
no.
But here it comes. So, what it is that the rumor has it that if this doesn't work, this next attempt, all right, parent companies that own DC Comics might be like, all right, we're over it, and might actually consider selling it. And who do you think they'd sell it? Marvel.
Ooh.
So the actual horrifying idea that they would gobble them up, because Disney, Marvel, the whole thing, it's just this horrible beast that just is taking over everything. So all of comics could wind up in one company where you would have the amazing moments where, sure, for the first time, these stories of Batman meeting Spider-Man and Superman meeting Captain America, outside of the world of amalgam from the 90s, they did this a few times, they've crossed over. But now it would be ownership and permanence, where they all get put into one superhero universe. That's a big rumor that's going around, and it's been shared a lot. I don't want to be spreading rumors. Rumor and innuendo.
That'd be fascinating, though. That opens a whole new level of things to have. I'm with you there. I don't know if I necessarily like it.
Nope.
I don't know that I like it.
Nope. I don't think it's...
I'm a hardcore nostalgia fan, though, so that might just be me. Maybe it is time for something new. Who knows? Who knows?
I've lived in a world where I've experienced this. I know what some of it was. It was the idea of, I worked at the Warner Brothers store So do you remember the Warner Brothers Studio store?
I don't specifically.
It's like a Disney store.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Disney store, and they sell all Warner Brothers stuff. And that's where some of the best superhero merchandise came from initially, before things like
WB
Diamond.
Kids. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes. Saturday
So,
morning cartoons.
During some of that era, there was a store where you could get, and that was where some of the best like superhero stuff. You couldn't really get as much superhero licensed stuff as you could now today.
Yeah.
Like Green Lantern was like, wow, it's kind of rare. Look at these cool things that are getting made at the Warner Brothers store. When the AOL merger with Warner Brothers happens at a point, the Warner Brothers studio stores are making a profit of $1 million to $2 million whatever dollars.
Shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was like, but that's not worth the effort. That's not a lot of money in the big scheme of these giant corporations. So they were like, hey, we're just going to shut them down. They weren't necessarily losing money.
But they weren't making a big impact like they wanted.
Yep. So
You
they were
gotta
like,
let
enough.
things live and breathe and not have to worry so much on the big money aspect.
Right?
Yeah.
So fascinating, but that's what I think they're looking at, this big push with DC, with these superheroes. It is like, if this one doesn't work, we're going to try and age them out a bit and get a new generation. We're kind of done with trying to make a comic book company.
Interesting.
So they might sell it off.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
Yeah, especially with how visual the world has gotten and how big superhero movies have gotten too.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense that if they feel that it's outdated, they're going to try and revamp it because it is hot now. Super hot.
The mainstream is a raging river.
Yeah, no
Right?
kidding. Exactly.
Speaking of that, some of the reason that this is going to happen is they're changing a lot of their writing staff over at DC. They're going after a lot of television writers and movie writers, as opposed to traditional comic book writers.
Got it.
That is where they think, because there's always this chase between Marvel, DC as different media companies in general.
Yeah.
You can see DC wins a lot of the time with their animated stuff over Marvel. Marvel, their animated stuff never really is legendary.
Yeah.
But Marvel, certainly Marvel Studios is kicking with those movies.
Massive.
Whereas DC, a lot of them are kind of a joke or a flop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that whole thing is what this is about too. They're bringing in television writers and movie writers to be writing these comics more. So that's why there's this shift. And because we can all see where it's headed, they're trying to catch up with Marvel again, with Marvel Studios and being media. It's not about, to them, it's not about sequential art, which to me is where it's always about. Storyboards,
Same.
even. Like, that's all sequential art. The idea that they're going to move forward in that direction is what is causing a lot of these tremors to perhaps a big earthquake.
That's terrifying. When you have somebody going in writing it for an agenda versus writing it for the story and for the love of it and for the characters, which that's what makes people fall in love with this to begin with. And you're going to nix that for the movement or for the grab, the mainstream grab, or whatever it ends up being. Yeah, not happy.
It's brutal.
Not happy.
But that's classic Warner Brothers. That's why they go after these big stars to star in their movies, where Marvel kind of makes
the
stars.
worlds in general,
It's a lot
I think,
of it,
right now.
but you can see a lot of the way Warner Brothers and DC, they still are a bit old-fashioned with some of that stuff, and it's called a segue.
That's
You know
called a
what
segue.
You know what we're talking about next?
What are we talking about next?
We're talking about media. We're talking about DC Comics. We're talking about Batman and the media, and we're talking about some of that
Batman. Did we hear Batman?
There he is. So we've got the brand new Batman, and the brand new Batsuit has been revealed to us all.
It has.
Right?
Oh, man.
We've all seen it. I don't know how you feel. Right?
Well, as far as the bat suit goes, are we going to go? Are we jumping in? Are we going? Are we? Hold on, I'll help. We'll position it
you
better.
Gotta figure out, it's like doing the weather. It's like doing the weather.
There you go, dude. You got it. Maybe a little too far up, but you're fine. Really digging in there.
I am. I dig Batman.
I dig Batman.
Holy noses. So yes, there's our new Batsuit. We got the Bat Cycle got revealed. We got, I think, a little preview of Catwoman. Catwoman.
What?
So we got a little preview
Never
of Catwoman.
opposed to that.
Right?
Ever.
Yeah. And so we're seeing that. It seems like Batman, Mr. Bruce Batman, this movie is going to be taking place, it's like Batman Year 2.
Year 2?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
So it's early Batman. It's taking him back. It's a little bit after all that stuff that we saw from Christopher Nolan universe and all that.
Loved it.
Yeah, all that stuff that has happened now. It's like, all right, that's kind of a version of things. Now it's like, let's pretend Batman got started. I'm sure we might get another origin story. Do we need another Batman origin story? Let's see. I think much like baby turtles, human beings are now born knowing The origin of Batman, like turtles to the sea.
I mean, the same with Spider-Man now, too.
Yep.
Let's be real. We don't want to see the origin story anymore. We've seen it.
Same thing, Soups, and Spider-Man learned it.
Yeah.
When they started brand new Spider-Man with that little kid, he's the best.
Yeah, agreed. They just went past it.
Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So it was Spider-Man in his neighborhood. It was great. I dug it. Loved it a lot. But that was a big difference that Marvel learned. They're like, we do not need to murder this old man again.
No.
We
We
don't need to
cried.
see the
We
pearls
shed enough
again.
tears.
We don't need to see the pearls. Batman, I'm sorry. We already see he's cycling through a graveyard. You can see here in the weather report. You can see here that he's cycling through that. Is someone telling me to keep it down? Oh, there's a dragon over there.
There's
There's
a
dragon in my midst. Look at that.
We're family friendly,
All
Sam
right,
says.
we're
Frank's
family-friendly.
family friendly.
I am very family friendly.
I'm like the evil devil right here.
I like to keep it clean. The media and nerddom, as we know, is already toxic enough. I am going to be the smooth base to that horrible acid. That's what I'm trying to be.
Oh, okay,
like an inanimate carbon
It's
rod.
beautiful.
All right?
Yeah,
In Rod we trust. I'm going to cool it all down.
I'm going to cool it all down.
I'm the coolant to this toxicity that has been overtaking this. Because I'm not hating on Batman's costume.
Nope.
How do you feel about Batman?
So
It's a little weird. I mean,
I'm a little split on this one. So I'm not in love with the bat suit whatsoever. It's a little too military for me.
Very military,
which
real
I don't
Batman.
particularly enjoy from Bat. I guess I like theatrics. I loved the Tim Burton Batmans and all that stuff too. But as far as casting goes, I know there's a lot of controversy as far as Rob Pattinson, but man, I think he's amazing. I think he's an incredible actor. I cannot wait to see his performance of Batman. I just saw him in The Lighthouse recently. Blew my mind. Yeah. Literally instant classic. He deserves so many awards.
Really?
So many. And I'm really excited to see what he does moving forward. Batman included.
A little of that sweet positivity. It's infectious.
Yep.
It's good to hear non-hate. I like that because, again, non-hate, you got to educate.
And it took me a while to get on board. I didn't particularly like him when he was cast as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter.
Okay.
So I was kind of off board with that a little bit since back then. But I think it was just my hard feelings with how much I wanted that book to be so magic. And you have it all warped in your head and stuff. But moving forward,
Which
yes.
book?
Is looking
the Harry
amazing.
Potter one?
Yes.
Okay. Which one was that one? Was that
He came out in 4. He ended up dying. Yeah.
Right. Spoiler alert.
If that's a spoiler alert for you, I am so sorry, but you're so just kidding. There's young people.
I
and
think
stuff.
I made it.
Don't know it.
Listen, it's everyone's first day. Remember that. All right, it's everyone's first day. Welcome to the live stream. Hit subscribe. You got to hit those shares. It's always someone's first day.
Helps.
They're always turning the page for the first time. Look at this. Even I, not used to this. Let's interact. Look, they want something. Spoiler alert. Here, right? He can't believe that someone's Superman. It's a little back. It happens. All right. There's a new era happening here. Sam used to love the Warner Brothers store. Okay. There was one over at the mall here for the longest time.
Really? And I'm not a Tucson local, so I had no idea. That's so
I
great.
have
That's
maquettes
great.
and animation cells from the Warner Brothers store.
That's beautiful.
All right, it's great. So Austin digs it. He goes, it's year 1, so he's more forgiving. It's a Batman year 1, Batman year 2.
Yeah,
it is
that's
like
fair.
that. He likes
That's
everything
fair.
but the head. All right. So, and then Tom's wondering who else good-looking people are. Again, I'm Frank Powers, your Prince of Promotion, the King of Commotion, your BFF, your best Frank forever. That's right. Here's Avery of Avery and Things. She gets all the things done. It's happening here.
I like all the things.
And we're your friends, your best friends in nerddom, having fun reporting on all the news, the scandals.
Having fun hanging out.
Yes.
I'm having a great time hanging out with you.
Join the
hanging out with
circle.
you.
Join the circle. You're all invited, and the circle gets bigger all the time. That's what we're trying to do here because, again, it's a local media group. It's a small local business, and that's what we're all about, growing a brand and talking about things that we all care about, right? The way I think about doing a podcast, like, well, what sets us apart? What sets us apart? Us.
Us
It's us that sets
people.
us apart, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to want to support us as just people. We're just a couple of friends and a few other ones behind the scenes that are just getting things done.
Talking about things we like, working on things around it. Yeah,
getting off the couch and getting off the bench. Like some people complain a lot and they don't actually do anything.
Through it. Yeah,
make
it's like
the things.
make the things.
You gotta make
exactly
the things.
all the things. We've talked about it before. It is always all the things.
Yes. Look at this. Look, Austin's telling me some news. The bat symbol, all right, is made out of the gun that shot his parents. I bet. He goes, it's cheesy but inventive.
That is super cheesy.
Is that cheesy? I think that's great.
I think it's cheesy.
I don't know.
I'm with you there. It's inventive. It's new, but I don't like it.
I don't know.
I don't like
I like it. I like it. I once drew a luchador character, right?
Yeah.
I have a luchador character, and his father was brutally murdered in the ring by an accident.
Oh my goodness.
And then and one was a mouse, one was a cat, and the cat rips the mask off and shames him. He shames him, and his son takes the shredded mask and makes the mask out of that mask.
Aww.
See, that's what that's all Batman's doing. He's taking that horrible trauma and making sure he stares at it every day. That's not very. What does Alfred think of that?
Stylistically, though.
What does Alfred think of
Not
that?
a fan. What does Alfred think of that?
He's
Poor
like,
Alfred. He's
"Oh,
like
is that-"
his low key like
Right.
psychiatrist and
Right.
stuff. Poor him.
I'm
How
sure
could you
Alfred
not
was
be?
very. What do you think, Alfred? And he's like,
He just comes out of
right.
Alfred.
He drops the T. Alfred drops the T. Alfred certainly drops the T. He's like, well, that's not.
What I
That's
expected.
fine. Yeah. No, that's great.
Fine.
That's fine. I was thinking a yellow. I was
Perfect.
thinking a bit of a yellow in there, perhaps. Do you know why Batman wears yellow?
I think of it as spotlight, night, moon kind of a thing.
He
but
wears
I don't
yellow
particularly know.
so that technically subconsciously draws the gunfire when people are shooting at him. That's why he wears the yellow bat symbol on his chest. That's what they used to say.
Really?
Yes.
So it was a strategic target.
Yes.
Okay, because he was all black. Okay, interesting.
Do you know why Robin wears red and green and yellow?
I have no clue.
So that people don't shoot at Batman and they shoot at Robin instead. The same exact reason.
Target! Go
The
get him!
same
He's
exact
fast!
reason.
He flies around!
That's
It's
right.
great. It's fine. He'll be fine.
Robin, you go in first. I'll stay in the shadows.
Oh,
It's fine.
no.
Batman's got it done. I can't wait to see what Robin's costume looks like. We'll see if we get there with this version of Batman.
Doubt it.
All right,
Doubt
it's
it,
great.
doubt it.
Andy Serkis is Alfred Austin. My God,
Interesting.
fascinating.
That's
is
gonna
Andy
be interesting.
Serkis? Is he going to be on the screen, or is he secretly wearing a skin suit and controlling a CGI old man?
Stop.
CGI
That's
old man
CGI
with the
old
T.
man.
That's how he's going to do it. He's never allowed to be on
Give
screen.
me those practical effects.
Andy Serkis needs to star in things so that he wins an award. That's why. Because if he just
Well.
keeps being a CGI puppet, he will not win any awards.
Nope.
And people want him to win awards.
Well, as long as he gives me a good performance, I have nothing to complain about.
It's
so,
the
It's
truth.
fine. It's fine.
So, I'll tell you this much. Let's segue again. One of my favorite things when I was a child, obviously, to collect, why it was Batman, right?
Just as a child, Frank?
Oh.
Just as a child?
Let's rewind that.
Well, yeah, we should.
So, Avery, as a segue, one of my favorite things to happen to buy, probably even just a week ago, Batman toy.
Yeah, probably just a week
Damn
ago.
you!
I outed you.
Hoisted by my own petard.
Absolutely outed you.
Look at this now, and now here. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. There
Are
he
we
is.
sitting right
We
in
are
front
sitting
of Baby Yoda?
With Baby Yoda having out. That's right. Remember, his name is the child, or what does it say?
Baby Yoda.
What does it say in Spanish on the packaging down here-ish? What's it say? Shout it out. I can't read it.
Infant.
No, it says it in
Levant.
La Infante. El Infante. What is it?
Is that Italian or Spanish?
I think it's one of them.
It's a what? I'm
Shout it out.
Gonna phone a friend right now, calling an expert real quick.
La Infantante? Is that what it is?
Cute.
Is that what it is?
Levant.
La Infant? Is there an...
That would be French.
Oh, ooh la la.
baby.
So, yes, it's Toy Fair. I wrote 2020, right? Yes, it's 2020.
You did.
Good. Toy Fair 2020 is here, which means, yes, the child is with us. Hallelujah. It has occurred. All right. Everyone's been waiting for where in the world is Baby Yoda? Where in the world is the child? All that Mandalorian stuff. One of the best reveals. Did you watch The Mandalorian yet?
No,
spoilers.
It's all right.
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, obviously, you've seen this thing.
Because of stuff. I know Baby Yoda. I
Right,
mean,
you know
who doesn't?
Baby Yoda
Who
exists.
doesn't? The meme
That's
culture
right. Oh
run
my.
rampant.
Rampant. All right. Exactly right. So we've got Baby Yoda finally. We've got the child. So that's what The Mandalorian's about.
child.
It's about a Mandalorian from all that stuff. I'm not going to spoil nothing, but a Mandalorian from Star Wars. All right. Looks like Boba Fett, all that sort of thing, that universe. This happens between
to be
one of
Boba
the
Fett.
stories and the other story. I'm not too sure which one. Don't worry about it. Austin will probably tell me in a second.
Probably, yeah.
But that's fine. It's one of the things that happens right in the middle. Did you ever see that big graphic of when they all occur, including all of the...
Yeah,
That's
absolute
hilarious.
insanity.
It's a universe, folks.
Yep, it is.
all right?
It is.
So the universe is a
Ever-growing
character,
one.
and the Mandalorian is pretty exquisite. Favs has done it again. Jon Favreau did a lot of it.
He's a wonderful
Fabs,
human
you
being.
gotta
I
love
am a
Fabs.
fav of him.
Fav of Fabs. So that is Fav's one of your faves, is what you're saying.
Yes, there we go.
I have a fave in Favs too. All right. So we've got that going on. So Baby Yoda, all the toys in every version of things has come out. All right. Baby Yoda was not made merchandisable because they were keeping it a secret because when it gets revealed, because that's like the end of the first one, right? Where he meets Baby Yoda. He meets the child. And the world just
Fell in love?
melts. Yes.
Fell in love.
Mandalorian is one of
Absolutely.
these rare things that, and it's Star Wars, where it came out like no one hates it at all. No one's really had a problem with it, and it's really enjoyable. The percentage of it on like Rotten Tomatoes and all that stuff is like 99% probably.
Yeah.
It's doing very well, which you don't often see.
That's very fair. Especially with how crazy the Star Wars universe has gotten over the past few years with certain things. It was actually nice to see people coming together and enjoying it again.
It's true. And again, because you watch some people's, they think their personality is like to hate on things. Like these Marvel movies come out, and then you have people that are just like, here's everything that's wrong with it. And it's just like, yeah, well, we can't do that. It's a movie universe and it's different. Just stop. You know, and haters gonna hate. But a lot of haters didn't hate on this, and you know why? The magic of Baby Yoda, the child.
That's why I don't want to see it.
Why?
Because it's just like, meh. I don't know. It just doesn't seem appealing to me. It seems like one of those things.
How much Star Wars do you like or love at all?
Thrown in. I just watched the originals again and finished them yesterday. Thank you.
All right. So you like all the Star Wars, right?
I like things and such about Star Wars.
Sure. Well, yeah. Okay.
I have
how
a
do
very
you feel about Star
opinionated
Wars?
opinion. I think it was magic, and I think the magic got slowly sucked out of it, and it makes me very sad to even think about Star Wars now.
Oh my God. Do you still enjoy the original Star Wars since you just watched them again? How do you feel about them? I myself, by the way, just wrapped them up myself.
Did you
you're
too?
so good. Yes.
Yes,
I
I'm
started
so
at Christmas. I was
glad.
watching them on
Yeah.
Christmas. I was not watching the Christmas one, but I started at Christmas. I was like, I'm going to treat myself.
Yeah, made it through the prequels and the originals again, because
That's
you gotta.
amazing. That's
Lord of the
amazing.
Rings is the same. I have to get through, and the Mummy. Got through those recently too.
And the Mummy?
One of
Did
my.
you just say Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and the Mummy?
Yes.
Oh, I talking about
Absolutely-
Brendan Fraser's
Yes!
The Mummy?
I actually saw the Boris Karloff one this month and the Brendan Fraser one and two, because they're amazing, all of them.
My word.
Yes.
Movie magic.
Movie magic all over the place.
My goodness. So that's fascinating.
Yeah, thank you. But Toy Fair.
Well, okay, now we'll get back
Yes.
to it because again, natural conversation is what it's all about.
I know, but I want to
podcast.
talk
We're
about
gonna-
this little baby Yoda.
I've got
We'll
notes.
get
We're
there.
gonna, but
We'll
I'm gonna.
get
I need to get your
there.
opinions on Star Wars
Okay, fine.
because with
Oh,
it
because
being
that's where we were. We were in
Yeah.
Star Wars. Okay, that's what it is. We need
Yeah.
a little step back
I'll
first.
loop
Yeah,
back.
Star
I know.
Wars.
You gotta loop them back, loop them back around. All right.
Loop them back around.
So-
I feel like the characters. I'm huge on characters. I want to fall in love with characters and believe in them.
Okay.
Also, cinematography is a big one. I need to have all the things in there. All the
Okay.
things need to be good, and I don't feel the story had the heart that I needed as it went along.
Which one?
The new ones and also the prequels. I love the prequels to a certain extent, but only to a certain extent.
Sure.
as well.
Everything. We've all.
I'm
got
very
our
picky
range.
though. I want magic to its
Okay.
fullest extent when
Well,
I see things. So I'm very hard
all
to
of that-
satisfy.
All of that said, her being as hard as she is to satisfy. I dare you to watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, I will. I'll
And
get around
is
to it. Is
excellent
the
because
thing.
I'm not. All of that makes me unshook because I feel that it will hold up to. You will feel better for seeing it than you will for seeing perhaps Solo. I like Solo just fine, but I'm easy to please.
I got through 10 minutes of it. And
Oh, see,
I
haters gonna hate.
didn't enjoy it
Wow.
as much, but I'm gonna get through it. It just takes me a little bit more to like throw myself at that because I do love so many things.
I agree. So everyone loves all the stuff that's coming out. So Baby Yoda, big thing. Let's talk about some of the other things that happened at Toy Fair because if we are talking about it being nostalgic and we are talking about it being fun and everything like that, right?
My favorites.
We were overwhelmed by the child in every version. You've got the child like Connect 4, Legos, everything. Everything I'd say, Lego has a version of it coming out. So we got Hasbro. You can see I made a little thing this way, right? Yes, that way. Okay, I got to remember my rights and lefts. But Hasbro, they did a good job of selling us every single thing that came out 30 to 40 years ago. Ghostbusters was so prevalent. Don't go to that yet. We'll get to that. But that was pretty good because that's my meme of the week. That is my meme. Like, go to it, and then we'll come back to this page in a second. You might as well do it because now it's there. Meme of the week.
You
They
saw
saw
it.
meme
You
of the week.
revealed the secret.
All right,
No,
that's
I'm
right.
just
We gotta
kidding.
wait to do that
do
because
have
we got a
meme
meme
of
of
the
the
week
week,
coming up.
and it's worth shouting it out, right? That's what I'm here to do.
You know,
Hang on.
Austin, I
It's
will.
the meme of the week. That's right, it's meme of the week. I know. Look at that. I gotta not put it to the the microphone. It's a meme of the week. So we've got a meme of the week, and this meme of the week explains a bit of how I feel about them toy fairs. Because look at that toy fair. You see what happened. It's everything that they sold us 35 years ago.
It's giving you a chance to recollect it because I bet you like 95% of people sold it off in garage sales and stuff.
Certainly.
Minus you.
Minus me.
But,
I'm the guy-
95%.
All my real Ghostbusters is set up, and I'm like, how dare they
They were
put all
beautiful.
these
I
out
got
again?
to meet them.
It's ridiculous. So hilarious. My meme of the week was this. This made me laugh. Took us off. We were having a good time looking at all the stuff that did come out because yes, nostalgia, a big theme of what did happen. A big theme. Go back to that Toy Fair one from previously if you can. So go back to Toy Fair because I want to talk a little bit about He-Man, some of what they had coming out from Mattel. All right, the Super 7 have some of these new things coming out because He-Man is always a very big popular thing at Toy Fair. All right, and the Masters of the Universe, they're coming back in a big way on Netflix again.
I saw that. I'm really excited. I loved the movie that came out in the 90s. I loved the Masters of the Universe so much. Skeletor, He-Man, the whole adventure. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so it just killed me.
All right, that movie is so bad, it's good.
I know, it is.
Have you seen that young Courtney Cox? We gotta save her.
No, she's so young.
Gwildor, I can't say.
Gwildor.
So have you seen? So those guys, they just made action figures of like that era of He-Man, the actual movies.
Interesting.
Yep, they're making
Okay.
everything. The Master of the
Yeah.
Universe line is like, we will make everything that's ever existed. All right, they've made versions of the action figures like classic versions, then reimagined classic versions. Then this is what it looked like in filmation and actual animation. They're all
Got
painted
it.
interestingly. It's fascinating. Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles doing a little of the same thing.
Yeah.
Releasing video game paint styles where they're all painted pixelated.
People like things, and if you can give them in different
Yep.
styles, in different versions, you're gonna eat it. I
They
eat
are.
that stuff up. Let
They
me tell
do.
you. So.
And everyone's going to be eating up the Ghostbusters for sure. Ghostbusters came out swinging. All right, absolutely. I think that was Hasbro. Released more Ghostbusters merchandise than I've ever seen in my life. A lot of it is a lot of the stuff I have seen in my life. Yes, a lot of it is all the original stuff has been repackaged, rebranded, hilariously, just re-releasing stuff. But now it's, $30. So we've got that going on. It's pretty
yeah, of
funny.
course it is.
We've got all that. The Care Bears are making a return. They look cute. They look adorable.
Really? I
Yep.
think it's a perfect time for them to come back too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Care Bears
I
are
like
looking
that.
good. Maybe they ride the wave now that My Little Pony has gone away.
My Little Pony. That's right. We need the new nostalgia
Yep,
thing.
I don't-
What's the other nostalgia thing we need to hype up? I
Yep.
forgot and
The-
love.
Next thing, of course, it's
Love
back
it.
like it never left. Back to the Future. Back to the Future. A big bunch of licenses coming out for Back to the Future. Funko Pops. Go look them all up. There's more than I can even announce. Obviously, tons of different Funko Pops. Marvel got the Marvel Zombies Funko Pops coming out. There's a lot of other your favorite licensed everything from Funko Pops. They
Yeah,
basically
I can't keep up with those guys.
No, they're crap.
at all.
They're crap.
They're
okay.
crap. They are crap.
I never buy them.
I've never
Okay.
have, and I'm like, this is dangerous.
But they're the best
for
gift
me.
to get and the best
They
gift to
are.
give because you can find anything you want. Oh,
And
what do you like?
specific
Yeah.
scenes, even.
Oh, they've gotten out of
it's
it.
insanity. I love it.
Funko Pops, phenomenal. They're worth even a deep dive one day. We'll talk about Funko Pops
should.
and all the nonsense that happened there. But also one of the things that a lot of people don't really know about, NECA securing a bunch of new licenses, a bunch of horror licenses. You'll dig it. A lot of fun stuff finally coming out. Ace Ventura coming out.
Oh, that's exciting.
I think some
How
Ace
fun.
Ventura things
Yeah.
coming out. And McFarlane Toys, they actually secured the DC license. So now McFarlane Toys is making Batman and Superman action figures from various comics, eras, and like even the animated series. I don't know, those don't look the best. But McFarlane Toys, known for being some of the best action figures ever, changed the toy industry. Now they are in charge of DC Comics toys. Fascinating.
Wow, so we're going to see a lot coming out then.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff. Mashups being some of the most popular things. The
Mashups.
Super 7 is putting up a lot of stuff with those He-Man figures, those Ninja Turtle figures, and some other brands and licenses, all on the same size scale now.
Really?
Yes, so they're keeping everything specific. So your Ninja Turtles are in scale to those He-Mans that are in scale to this.
Oh, wow. That's
Everything
going to
is-
be very cool to collect them and see
Yeah.
them side. Ooh, they're good.
Yep.
They are
It's a-
so good.
It's a clever way to do it.
really
Believe
is.
me, it's a clever way to do it.
Sweat and better get
Right?
that money ready.
And lastly, one of my favorite things you can see as basically the most popular thing happening these days is, of course, the multiverse. Everything's doing their own multiverse because all
Yeah.
these licenses are out of control. And mashups. The multiverse equals mashups. One of my favorite mashups that I'm seeing come out, and the Ninja Turtles are coming out mashed up with the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's exciting, but also terrifying.
Yep.
Do it right.
I know.
Do it right or don't do it.
I believe there's an entire IDW comic, like franchise going on about it. IDW, some of the best with licensed property comics.
Very
but
exciting.
they've got a lot of stuff coming out. Ghostbusters is mashing up with a lot of things, but also the WWE, my favorite thing. Ooh, yeah. Dig
I
it.
was a huge Hardy Boys fan.
There you go.
What?
Well, the WWE is mashing up with He-Man. So you got John Cena looking like He-Man the way it's supposed to be done.
I kind of
That's
want
right.
to cry right now. Like
Okay.
wrestling has gotten so theatric as it is, and now we're gonna jump into
Yep.
the whole
Yep.
superhero era with it.
It's
wow,
nonsense. And
wow,
now
this is gonna be
WWE
crazy.
is also who you're going to call when you want to bust some ghosts. When you need to bust some fiends. When you want to bust The Undertaker, perhaps. Yes.
Oh,
You've got
man.
Ghostbuster WWE coming out. It's like HBK, John Cena,
Are
like
you
Stone
kidding
Cold and The
me?
Rock. All is
HBK
Ghostbusters.
too? That's
Yeah.
insane.
Okay. All is Ghostbusters, and
Yeah.
The Undertaker is like he's like translucent
He's
and
so
like a ghost.
old.
He's
now,
excellent. He's
so
timeless.
That's perfect.
He's timeless.
He is timeless.
I watch him every week.
1000
He's got a
yes, he
match
has
coming
to
up
be
soon.
there all the time. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I was
So,
a huge Kane fan too.
that's the Demon
I
King. Yes.
love Kane. He
love-
was
look at
so
that.
crazy.
You get the wrestling in your bones. You know what
do,
you call
you
that?
get crazy.
Avery, that's called macho madness.
I
Ooh,
love it.
yeah,
Oh no,
dig
we
it.
gotta have you. We gotta have
I
you
love
come
it.
in as a special guest
I love it.
yourself.
So there is a lot of there's your main
Vince
headlines
McMahon.
again. DC Comics, Dan Didio, you got Batman coming out, you got Toy Fair happen. So now let's go to those memes. Mine being, you saw what my meme was. They're just selling us the same stuff from 35 years ago. That was one of the funniest things I've seen. I haven't looked
is.
over here in a little while. Let's go check it out. We've got Marvel has the baby things going for them. And
Never.
also the daddy issues. Hilarious. Austin.
daddy
amazing.
issues?
All right. Avery tells you, Avery, you got to watch it. Austin's on. You got to watch that Mandalorian.
I
all right?
will.
It's a
I
beautiful show.
absolutely will. It takes me a
All right.
little bit of time to get back to these things, but I will.
There's perhaps a new Ace Ventura movie coming out. I believe I heard that rumor as well. We'll see. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey killing it in Sonic the Hedgehog, I heard. Haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it
but
either.
we shall see. All right. We've got someone, look at that, Austin, correct himself, right in Edmund. It's Vince McMahon, all right? And never the same since he showed his face. It's true, Vince McMahon, you never know.
Yep,
but
agreed.
That's exactly what happened there. We got all those headlines. So now let's go to those memes. Meme of the week from me.
Meme
You
of
saw
the
it,
week.
funny nonsense. Go to Avery's now. Avery, which way are we going now? We got to climb like Batman. Hang on,
know,
Avery.
it's great.
Hang on, Avery. Don't fall down. Don't fall down. But that's right. We were talking all about Batman, and Avery has a very good attitude toward Batman and toward everything. And it was this guy's playing Batman, right? Sparkly vampire.
Yes.
Right?
He is.
Right. But is it that guy who named some of the movies you've seen him in that you enjoyed again? Bring people back as to why they should care. Why Robert Pattinson is now their new Dark Knight.
Well, I'm actually just newly on board with Rob Pattinson
Sure.
again, so this
They're
is
so close,
absolutely
she
new
calls
for
him
me.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob Pattinson.
Right?
I just call him Rob Pattinson.
Just
thank
call him
you.
Rob?
Just call him Rob. I wish. Rob,
Okay.
please let me call you Rob. We'll hang out. We'll be friends. We'll deserve it. I promise. But no, absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I saw his latest movie, The Lighthouse, and that's definitely what made me go back and start really looking at him. He's in a couple other horror movies, and things such as that. I actually can't think of anything else that he's in right now, but that's
Yeah.
the one that did it for me. He absolutely, like I said, deserves so many awards for that performance. I loved seeing him just completely lose it and go all the way up here. It was phenomenal. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely take a look at The Lighthouse, take a look at Rob Pattinson, get excited. It's worth getting excited for, I absolutely promise. So this
that.
meme is perfect. Perfect.
I love it.
And to be fair, like, I was a part of the Twilight hype. I read the books, saw the movie, wasn't blown away by the movie because that's just a hard thing for me since I'm a reader first. But as far as Kristen Stewart and Rob Pattinson goes, they gave great performances of what the characters in the books were. So sorry if when you saw the content on the big screen, it didn't blow your mind, but I think that's just the content, not the actors. So there you go. See it. Give him a chance.
My favorite thing was Kristen Stewart pouring. She has a ketchup squeeze bottle, and she
Oh,
acts
yeah.
like that.
I know, or she just hit the back, dude. Hit the back. It's
And
okay.
it's a squeeze bottle, like you just squeeze it out. But yeah, there you go. I don't have much of an opinion on Twilight. I did see them. I think I saw the first one. I think with my sister, she's like, "Come see this with me." I'm like, "All right," and I'm watching these people play softball or something. I'm like, "Whatever it is,
Whatever.
that's fine." But yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, I remember someone told me recently. I was like, "Oh, did they just do a bad job at translating those?" Those aren't good books. They're ridiculous.
They are ridiculous. It's just a viral, it's a teen angst thing.
Yep.
We fell in love with the magic. It's fine. It came, it went. Stop hating.
There you
Stop
go.
hating.
But stop hating, all right? We're going to see what happens with Batman. Everyone's always anti. You never know what's going to happen. Internet, stop being brutal, all right? Let's see what occurs
Give him a
first.
chance.
Give him a chance. You got to let it happen, all right? He's a film actor, right?
That's a hard thing to do, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard thing to bring a character to life. So.
Remember, how did you feel about Batfleck? Did you see Ben Affleck Batman?
I did not.
It didn't bother me entirely, but at the same time, you know,
But
better
that's
Bruce
what it is.
Wayne,
I don't
maybe
want
a better
meh.
Bruce Wayne.
I don't want
right?
meh.
I
I want to be blown away.
It's
and
hard.
meh isn't.
It's hard. They always go for that big star.
Yeah.
That's their thing. They
Yeah.
always chase those big stars. Anyway, let me tell you
Happens.
what. Want to go to the next thing to talk about? You know,
Yes.
have you, Avery,
What?
have you heard?
Hey, no.
Have you heard?
No, I haven't. That's why we're here. You're supposed to tell me.
Wait,
the
what's
thing.
new? That's what we're going to do.
Wait, what's new?
That's
What?
right. So it's
Wait,
Wednesday.
What's new?
Wait, what's new? So it's
is
Wednesday.
new?
We're going to try and just highlight some things coming out. It's Wednesday, whether it's some things coming out, maybe that just came out yesterday, some coming out today,
that's
all
great.
that sort of thing. We're going to try to keep you up to date. I personally am not like I'm following everything. Again, we got some nerd culture going on around here, but we can't do it all. We got our fingers in a lot of pies. We got small businesses going. We're working on ourselves. But we're going to try and keep track of some of this stuff. So maybe, perhaps, people might have suggestions in the comments or other places to find some of these resources. But I went to the leagueofcomics.com. I figured give them a shout out because I found a lot of stuff that's coming out and some video games that are coming out on the video game release radar. There's too many comics to talk about. Right?
agree.
I was looking
Way
up
too
comics.
many.
It's like trying to be like, let's be the TV guide of whatever. So go to your local comic stores. Always support comic stores. Buy comics. Read comics all the time. All right? I loved the idea that we were going to try and do a segment where I listed what's new.
Yes.
There's 1,000 new comics
New
all
things.
the time.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I
so
was like.
much.
Just take a couple.
Right.
Take a little peek at what's
Right.
going on.
All right? But as far as things concerned with some video games, we've got some video games that I can list out that are coming out, and let's see if any pop your mind, took you fancy.
Pop my mind.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's see.
So one thing I'm very excited for, obviously, a legendary game, Mathland, is coming out for the Switch.
I don't even know what that is.
Sounds like a math game.
Sounds like a mad game.
We've got Elder Scrolls Online, Harrowstorm downloadable content coming out in a little bit. Famita for the PC. We got Kingdom Hearts 3, something coming out with Kingdom Hearts 3. A little bit of
Is
downloadable
there
content.
downloadable
Yep.
content. There we go.
Mega Man Zero has some new stuff coming out.
I'm a huge Mega Man fan. That's exciting.
So we've got a new Mega Man Legacy Collection, a ZX Legacy Collection coming out, and that's going to be on PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch, all that sort of thing.
Perfect.
Neverwinter's listed. I'm not sure Neverwinter's striking anything. Anyone? Takers? No?
Nope.
Samurai Showdown coming out for the Switch. I remember Samurai Showdown from back in the day growing up. I love Samurai Showdown.
I don't
Fighting
know what that
game.
one is. Oh, it's a fighting game.
yes.
I love fighting games.
All right. We've got a few other things. Mousecraft. I don't know what Overpass is. We've got Bloodroots, One Punch Man, a hero
One
nobody
Punch
knows,
Man.
has a video game coming out.
Perfect.
Yep. And Rune Factory, as well as Code Vein. A few games listed coming out. I got this list of games from, I think, the Game Radar. What was it? There was a Games Radar. Go check them out and keep track of some of your games. It's not like they're sponsoring anything, but we were trying to decide what type of a show to put on, and I figured talking about new things was good.
It's a start.
It's a start.
start.
All right. So there's not a lot of movies coming out this week, but there was one, and we figured with some of the wait, what's new? We would talk about some new movies coming out.
I love new movies.
One of the movies coming out very soon, I believe, might be this week. Is if I can see it around here. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
It's invisible,
It was
Frank.
invisible.
You can't.
No.
It's not allowed to be seen.
The Invisible Man is coming out, and we figured every single week we would perhaps do a trailer react live where we watch The Invisible Man. We watch a trailer for one of the new things coming out. Maybe one, maybe two for a video game, for anything.
I personally like it, so
Right?
if you like it, please let us know.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
We're going to do it regardless. What do you think?
What?
I think it's a good
What?
idea.
Yeah,
All
right? I do whatever because I
That's right.
decide.
That's
I
right.
decide in this chair.
So we got that. Let's check out some comments quick. Oh, when he was talking about, let's go back. Austin talking about it's never been the same since Kane unmasked. I thought he meant when Vince unmasked.
Mass. Yeah, no,
Okay.
since Kane, completely agree. Kind of weird.
Right?
Super crazy.
He's amazing. Loves him. Loves,
Rob Pattinson. Yes.
right.
Absolutely.
And then Kingdom Hearts DLC. Sam's excited
Yay,
about that.
Sam. Me
Right.
too. I haven't played it yet. On my way.
Right. Check
On my
those
way.
comments. Keep on interacting. We love everything. Hit the share button. Sharing, as you know, is was carrying, and the Care Bears are making a comeback this year. So we've got The Invisible Man coming out. The Invisible Man, a classic iteration of a classic horror movie character, correct? Let me read you the synopsis for The Invisible Man. When Cecilia's abusive ex takes his own life and leaves her fortune, she suspects his death was a hoax. As a series of coincidences turn lethal, coincidences, Cecilia works to prove that she is being hunted by someone nobody can see. I just came up with that. I did not rehearse it. I think I would ever do that. But when you're reading a movie thing, you got to say it like that.
You got to be dramatic.
Yes. So that is what's happening.
We paid extra for the voice work.
Okay,
We did.
You got to pay
Thank
extra.
You. Hope you
Pay
enjoyed it.
Extra. All right. So you got all that going on there where it's the Invisible Man is back. Someone is invisible because she does not believe in her husband's death. He wants that money. This is actually sounds like almost... was this an episode of like the Batman animated series? They kind of handled an Invisible Man story very similar to this.
Really? I feel like I've definitely seen this story before in other things too,
Yes,
like you said. Yeah,
right?
definitely a rehashing for me
All
as
right,
well.
so wait, let's save some of those because we've got some references to make that we made before that are hilarious. But let's save those. Let's watch the official trailer for The Invisible Man and react to it live here on the Wait What Media. Like, share, and subscribe.
Spared no expense.
Right. Do we have to hit this play button? I have to do
Oh,
this?
yeah, we do.
Okay,
You're so
go.
right. My bad. You know,
We have volume.
doing things and stuff. Do we have volume?
Trust.
Do we have volume before I continue? Okay. Well, here we go.
As the attorney representing Adrian's trust,
I guess it's
I'm required to read a prepared statement. Cecilia, although our relationship was far from perfect, I thought that you would talk to me rather than run away.
Are you okay?
Ah!
What happened to him?
He cut his
Okay, no,
wrists.
that's him. He
Per
died.
his final wishes,
Supposedly.
you're getting $5 million. Contingent, of
Oh,
course,
I
on the
love
fine print. He can't be ruled to be mentally incompetent.
Ooh.
It just doesn't make any sense.
What?
Adrian wouldn't kill himself.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay? Don't let him haunt you.
Hello? I'm scared.
You don't have to be scared of him anymore.
He was a sociopath, completely in control of everything. He said that wherever I went, he would find me,
Yes.
walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
It's like he's
You
haunted.
okay?
Someone sitting in that chair.
You're insane.
Look, he's right here.
I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing. You need help. Adrian is dead. I went to his house today. He's not dead.
I have a pile of ashes in a box that would disagree with you.
He has figured out a way to be invisible.
Only thing more brilliant than inventing something that makes you invisible is coming up with the perfect way to torture you, even in death. Adrian's true genius was how he got in people's heads.
Don't come any closer. Hey!
I'm not crazy. Please listen to me.
You're saying the person trying to kill you is in the room right now.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Oh, invisible fight! We're gonna watch an invisible fight. That's exciting.
But we can't see him?
Oh my God!
Is he listening? Where are you?
Even the lag.
Where are you? Show yourself.
Good. I like it.
There you are.
Brutal. Okay, very good. It was.
Made it through.
It's so invisible we almost couldn't see it. That's right. That's how exciting that was. My goodness. Oh, look at this. We'll have to watch this another time, maybe.
We will.
We'll wait for a
we'll
second.
let
Bring us
that
back.
hang out.
My, did you enjoy that? How do you feel about that?
Very underwhelmed.
You're
will have to
underwhelmed?
I am a huge horror movie fan. So
You are?
Absolutely. It takes a lot to win me over for a horror film, and when I see that, it definitely you're gonna have to prove it to me. I'll go see it, but you're gonna have to prove it to me because I'm not taken by that.
But I'll go see it,
representation.
she says. Yo,
Yeah,
I'll go see it.
I'll give it a
I'd see
chance.
that.
I want to give it a chance.
I
but-
love that actress from Mad Men and
Mm-hmm.
from, what else is she from, where she wears the hood? That's terrifying.
I can't. Oh, I know Mad Men for sure.
A Wives' Tale? The Wives?
I haven't seen
What is it?
A Handmaiden's
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
Yes?
I haven't seen it.
I hear it's brutal. Like
I have
hear it's
too. I
brutal.
haven't seen it
All
quite yet.
But wait, yes, let's go to the comments because it's exactly what we were thinking before.
Literally. Where
Okay,
we're
where's
going.
Kevin Bacon? That's right. Where's Kevin Bacon? That's right. Kevin Bacon is not the Invisible Man. He was Hollow,
Hollow Man. Yep,
Hollow
we
Man. Do
did
not
bring
be
that up.
confused.
Yep.
Do not be
Yep.
confused. Okay. Chevy Chase was the Invisible Man in some sort of fun movie.
Rendition,
Where
yeah.
he got a bunch of chemicals spilled on him while he's driving. He's just using the windshield wipers to get him off. So there was the Chevy Chase Invisible Man, right? And then famously, all the other Invisible Men from back in the day who played the Invisible Man, like Boris Karloff, my man, did Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney. It was either him, it was Lon Chaney's The Mummy, Boris
Yeah.
Karloff, some of them double dip.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who did the original. Pull it up. Where's
Pull it
Chris?
up.
This is why we have Chris. Pull
Medium
it up.
Man.
We're gonna find it.
So just like you're talking about The Mummy before, where you you love that modern 90s iteration of The Mummy.
I do. It's
Using the
beautiful.
same franchise, these famous horror franchises, right? Mm-hmm. Who plays the Mummy classically? in The Mummy?
Classically,
Click it up. All right.
Boris Karloff
Is it
plays Emotep originally in The Mummy.
The Invisible Man by and it's by H.G. Wells. Oh, fascinating. That's gonna
That's
bring
not
us to some
surprising.
other stuff that we'll talk
That is
about
not
later.
surprising.
Who is that? Claude
Rains.
Oh, fascinating. Not as
Yeah.
famous as some of the others. Not as famous. So we've
Interesting. I didn't
got
know that.
we've got that going on where it is an invisible man. And I thought at first maybe they were using, it's like when they bring out the movie King Arthur
Yes.
and it's like starring no one because they're like King Arthur's the star.
No, you gotta have a good especially when we've seen it so many times. It has to be good representation. It has to be a strong performance.
There are times when a star works and when you don't need a star, like Wolverine, make a star, and times when stars work. Again, that's what I was talking about with some of that DC Comics, Warner Brothers
That makes
stuff,
sense.
right?
That definitely makes
This
sense.
Invisible Man, I thought they were doing that thing. I thought they were doing that thing where it's like, oh, it's starring the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
But no, she's a draw. She's great, very talented actress, right? And that I think that looks pretty exciting. It's definitely it's a twist on being haunted by something.
Yeah. I feel it's definitely thriller-esque.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the idea that also sometimes here's the other thing. Sometimes you watch these paranormal movies, you are right there with the victim. You don't know what's going on, right?
Yes.
And everything happens or gets revealed. Whereas other times, we know there's an invisible man. We know that he's out there doing this.
Yes.
The other characters don't know. She's convinced.
And you have to in this day
Yeah.
and age because we've seen it so many times. Like
Right.
you're not gonna fool anybody. You just have to
Right.
give somebody a different story.
Yeah, so
and
it-
that's maybe not particularly where
Yeah.
I'm fond of this direction.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's an interesting take, an interesting twist.
Interesting twist.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Very.
I don't know. I'm into it. I might go see it. I'm down with the Invisible Man. New
I'm with
interpretation of the
Austin.
Invisible
Kevin Bacon, where you at?
Man. Kevin Bacon, where you at?
For real
Kevin
though.
Bacon, where you at? Oh, peace, Thomas. Thanks for hanging out. There we go. We got more live streaming here. Oh, Jake was watching. Jake, very good. All right. Everyone's hanging out here, having fun, live streaming, sharing our thoughts and feelings on movies and things like that. So now let's ask a good question. Let's ask a good one. And it's, what are you watching?
Wait, what are you watching?
What are you watching?
What are
Avery?
you
What
watching?
are you watching? Since we're talking about the Invisible Man and we're talking about horror,
We are.
why don't you kick it off and
'Cause I can
tell us
talk
a
about
little
this
bit of the
all
horrific things that
day.
we're experiencing these days that you've been watching?
These days in horror, just in general?
No, the stuff you've been watching. You told me that you've been kind of watching, like, how many horror movies did you watch this month?
Oh, so this, okay, just making sure this is what we're going for.
Yeah.
I have, at this point, because I've just seen Star Wars, that was number 31. So, yeah, I have seen 28 horror movies this month.
Wow.
Old,
28
new,
days
I've
of
seen
horror
some
movies.
Argento, I've seen some Carpenter, I've seen a lot of, like, Boris Karloff's The Mummy. Obviously have to watch The Mummy after that because
There you
it's
go.
good. Obviously I talked about The Lighthouse.
Heck yeah.
Man, I've seen, like I said, a lot of Argento. Argento is very good. Saw his version of
Tell us
Suspiria.
more about one Mr. Dario Argento.
Dario Argento,
very same.
the very same. He was definitely known for his gore, which was amazing. The blood shots and just a little bit more of the torture aspect of things, which was phenomenal in the old Suspiria. However, it's his shots. It's his film work with the camera. It is stunning. It is absolutely breathtaking and so deliberate. And so watching it now and going back, that's definitely what captures me about his. And of course, older movies are a little bit drier as far as horror goes. You have to invest in the story and you have to be willing to go through the beginning part of the development. And I don't think a lot of people do that enough these days. No. And that's definitely part of the magic of old horror movies for me too, is the character work and the story that they build, and they might be a little bit more streamlined because at this point we've seen it all. You need to surprise us. So the story's a little bit more in and of itself, which I like too. But Argento does a very good job of telling a good story. Great cinematography.
Heck yeah.
That's
fascinating. Some of that stuff, it doesn't age as much as you'd want, but again, a lot of it doesn't. You have to look at it for what it is. Some Hitchcock stuff. I think it's like North by Northwest, South by Southwest, Vertigo, one of these movies, right?
Vertigo.
It's the first time that they use, there's a man on a train, then they cut out to like the train tracks and the train going by, and then they cut back. It's like the first time anyone's ever done that.
Yeah,
and that's why people forget. Right. That's why people forget. It's like, oh, that's why people were also fascinated by some of these films. It's like, yeah, now we're used to, like, of course you cut out to some B-roll for a thing.
Exactly.
He invented that, though. So it's interesting with some of this stuff. Again, with famous cinematographers, famous directors like that. There's a reason that they're rising to the top, and you heard of them. They're the people you should invest some of your time in because they did and
something. Why they stand the test of time, respectively.
Yes.
So, there is definitely a big reason.
Any other specific movies that you remember, that you recall, that are sticking out of 28 films that you watched this month?
28 films. Oh my gosh. One that I didn't particularly care for at the end of it, it was originally released as The Wind. But it's now named The Wind, Demon in the Prairie or something like that. It was very good. Bye, Austin. See you later. Loved the story, but at the end of it, stories kind of get muddled. It did too much of the cut back and forth, and then it went farther back, and the weird back and forth that it did, I didn't particularly like, and I think it took away from the story. Definitely see it. It was magical. It was a great watch, but it didn't really do it for me as far as the ending goes. But that's how it works sometimes.
That's, again, a friend of mine, not a friend yet. I'm trying to make friends. Your mileage may vary. That's what he says.
Your mileage may vary.
That's how you gotta be. Your mileage may vary. I'm like, oh, that's a good way to look at some things. It is just the way it is. I used to be able to watch horror. I used to be able to, and now I'm such a baby. And like, I can't handle any of it. I think the last.
You're family friendly.
I'm family friendly. Okay.
Jarring.
I think some of the last stuff I saw was like Hostel, Cabin Fever.
Ooh, Hostel's
You know,
great.
Like some of those. And I love Freddy vs. Jason, one of my favorite movies of all time, because I love those characters. And then growing up, I love Freddy vs. Jason.
I hated it.
How dare you? We'll settle that score.
We will. We'll go to battle.
Because I will talk about that as one of my picks. But what am I watching? Let's talk about something I'm watching.
Yes, please. I would love to hear what you're watching.
I will make it so right now. Here we go, because it's this man right here, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I love Picard. I love Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm a big Star Trek fan, like I was talking about earlier, and I figured the best way to kick off some of the stuff, like when it was like, let's talk about a podcast that we're watching.
Yes.
Let's talk about, or that we're making all this stuff. What am I watching? I'm like, of all the times in my life, a great time to talk. It's Star Trek, and it's Jean-Luc Picard. Like, I'm so happy that this franchise came back. I was excited when it was announced that it was coming back, where he's like, Captain Jean-Luc Picard is back. And he said it at a Comic-Con. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
I bet the cheers were out of this world.
Now,
I can't even imagine.
I love it. Again, I will always say this to you, my dear internet, I'm easy to please. Like, I am not... I've got friends that are watching this and they're like, I'm going to quote a friend of mine. He gave me some of this material just by listening to him watch it. Okay. He calls it boomer food. That's what he calls it.
Boomer food.
He's like,
that is perfect for this
Grandpa in space. And I'm like, that's not what it is.
Grandpa in space. Do it well. Give me a good story.
Right?
Give me good characters.
Right?
I want to. I'm excited. I think he's a phenomenal actor. There's so much life to his work. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah. It's Professor X. He's the best. All right. And again, what's even better than Sir Pat Stew's Instagram and his Twitter? He's living his best life. Him and Sir Ian McKellen, besties. They are the definition of what friends look like, let me tell you.
They are. They're so beautiful. Put them in the spotlight anytime. I'll take it.
So that's even some of it, is that like you become a fan of them.
You do.
You're a fan of Patrick Stewart, and I'm a fan of Patrick Stewart.
Very much
right?
so.
Here's the thing that's great. All the things that are great about Picard. Because sure, you might have some problems with it, but we are at the halfway point of what it is. So we are episode 5 just aired last week. I watched it a couple times, which I rarely do, but I was showing it to somebody. I was like, I will watch this one again, because it's one as if These characters go to Comic-Con. They go to this planet called Free Cloud. We've seen it in a lot of genres. It's like the Vegas planet, right? So they go to that place, all right? And they all
Vegas
have
planet.
to wear costumes and disguises.
Of course, yeah, it's all
And
fun.
it's Captain Picard and an eye patch with their fake French accent.
No, I want to see it so bad.
Right?
Yes.
And some of my friend is doing a face palm that would make Patrick Stewart proud, okay? He's doing a face palm of the ages. But I'm like, this is the man who dresses as Dixon Hill for fun. This is a
so
man,
true.
they put on Shakespearean plays
He
on that
wants to
ship.
have fun too and go all out.
Right?
Have at it, buddy.
Right?
Like the universe and the space and all these different worlds and planets and
Right.
things. It belongs. It fits.
Boldly going where
It
no one has
does.
gone before. Including the realm of an eye patch and pulling it off, okay? That's exactly right. But you've got that. Captain Rios is probably a cosplay I'm going to play. He looked like a pimp from the future.
A pimp.
Pimp from the future. I'm wearing an orange hat, and I always wear orange
That's
hats.
what I want to see.
All right?
Exactly that.
Well, I think it's been developing very well. All right. Now here's some of the people's problems with it. It's not Star Trek. Modern Star Trek is action-packed. Modern Star Trek, they're action movies. This is like a crime drama, right? It's a little bit of a crime drama. It's got a little bit of that Firefly element. Some people might hate me for saying that because they're space cowboys. They're on a secret mission, kind of.
I agree. I think that's what's fun about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're on a secret mission that he tells Starfleet about, right? And one of the things that's interesting in it, in some of these new Star Treks, is like they curse. And they drop an F-bomb in this that made me leap out of my chair like I am a grandma.
Squeal?
I did.
Did you squeal?
And I was like,
for it?
oh! I couldn't believe it. Someone would
He
talk
squealed.
to Jean-Luc Picard in this fashion, right? Because it's a little more real in that in the
That's
80s.
what I want, though. You want that.
There is this
drama.
weird realness to it of what is the future like. Star Trek always kind of gave us this squeaky clean version of the future that's kind of adorable when you watch them back. Star Trek TNG, it's like a play. It's kind of
is.
like you're watching a play.
It is.
They beam down to a planet. These three people represent this whole planet
This whole
in this
middle
one
thing.
little village, right? And that's always the thing about it's a trope of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's very classical. Remember, it's as if television doesn't exist,
Very
right?
much so. Well, television came from something, and
Right.
you can
But again,
see it
people
in
would,
those
of course,
early things.
there's
yeah.
always still like news exists in the future.
Yes.
News exists. In TNG and in Deep Space, it's never like they watch the news. They don't watch television. In this version of things, it's like, no, they do. Like there's news media, there's cities that don't care about the Federation and planets that are more corrupt. Deep Space Nine gave us a little dirtier look into the future in the Federation, right? But the Federation is almost looked at like it is like, oh, we did it. Humans achieved it. We're all perfect. Aside from one cross admiral from time to, every season, there's one
a
rogue
cross
admiral,
admiral.
right?
Seriously.
We've all made it. We're all better. Money's practically gone. Racism's gone. Harmony exists. Poverty's gone. Starvation's gone, right? All of this.
It's just happy.
Right. And they made
Happy-go-lucky.
it sound like it's really great, right? Especially TNG the most, that era. Because even old classic Trek, that was, as I rewatch it, right? And I hope it doesn't look like I'm mansplaining to someone. Like, I'm
Oh, no, I don't. Like, no, please. Look,
Yeah.
We're having a discussion.
right?
It's
Like
fine.
Star
We're
Trek,
good.
it was a little grittier than we remember. Like they drink on the Enterprise, and it's
Yeah.
not Synthahol. Like they get into bar fights,
Yes.
and they are more like cowboys. Like he's got that
I
swagger
want to
that
see
Captain
it. I want
Kirk
the
has.
drama. I
Yeah.
like that aspect
You know?
of it. And you see, like you said, the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is some of that still in the future of Star Trek, but then Next Generation, it's very like we watch classical music and only Shakespeare survived.
Little proper.
Right?
Little proper.
It's very proper. All right. I have this whole fun theory, and I feel like we're talking for a while, but I have this whole fun theory that like it was only Captain Picard's ship that is like this. Every other ship is still some.
That's just
you know,
their dynamic
iron
as a
watch.
team.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so wonderful.
But everyone wants to think it's a Jean-Luc Picard ship. He's like runs a real tight ship where it's
Yeah.
like Shakespeare. You have no, television's not
They
allowed.
cross another ship
Yep.
and they're just all
Like, oh, it's that Froofy
What is
ship.
this?
It's
yeah,
Captain
that
Picard.
Froofy ship.
Yep. There they are.
perfect.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it.
Seriously.
Picard, everyone's prim and proper. They sleep in their uniforms. Like, that's the only ship that happens. Everyone else is still kind of normal, but it's the future.
Kind of normal.
Right?
I
But-
love that.
yeah.
That is hilarious.
So I feel Picard, even though it is a bit more violent,
Yes.
the opener. Now again, jump ahead to the next segment. We put a time code in the comments, but if you don't want any spoilers, you've been warned a little bit. I'm going to be very vague. All right, but I will say this because it is a surprise. The way episode 5
Yes.
opens up is one of the most graphically violent things I've ever seen, more than Saw.
That
Okay?
makes me want to see it automatically.
So there's that. Also, one of the things that happens in episode, the way that they talk about the storyline of what's going on in Picard, that continues the storyline, the timeline of Star Trek, okay, which they've been afraid of for a while. Things get very afraid, so that's why they reboot and rebrand. And they prequel,
That's so true.
because we don't know what to do next. But what about when Darth Vader was a kid? Yeah, he was a kid once, right? So they don't want to ruin what they did.
Yeah, that should
by
have been an
by
Obi-Wan
continuing
story.
it, right? But
Yep.
maybe we can fit in Muppet Babies, right?
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
do the Muppet Babies version of everything. Everything's the year one of
Yeah,
everything.
it's too happy.
Right.
It's too happy. It's too
But-
fairy tale.
Well, not even that. Just the starting
Mm-hmm.
at the let's go further back, not go what's next. So now we are removed from Voyager, Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager. Then that's where Star Trek kind of stops for a while.
Interesting.
All right, because then it's like Enterprise is a reboot. Then we got classic Trek the movies reboot. Here's the clever thing about that. So spoiler about the new Chris Pine Star Treks that came out in like 2009.
Yes, yeah, spoiler.
10 years ago.
I loved them. I thought they were phenomenal.
So good, you know it. So Spock comes zipping in, right? Spock comes zipping in from our dimension.
Yes.
From the Kelvin timeline, I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
Right.
Not that. Not,
That is our
not that
Spock.
much.
That instrument of destruction that he had was to stop this timeline's Romulan sun from exploding.
Oh, okay,
But
got
then he
it.
brought it there, and then you saw those villains stole it, and then they blow up that.
And it just happened.
They blow up Vulcan in that timeline.
That's right.
That means that what happens here, Spock disappeared, that weapon disappeared. That means that what did I just say?
Oh, time things.
Right,
Universe
not the
things.
Vulcans, but beat the what did I just say? Romulans. The Romulans, okay? The Romulans, they feel like they got abandoned, right? And their sun exploded. So the storyline continues that. So there was a little blip of history for our time with Spock in those movies. Fascinating, right?
That is
Where
fascinating.
now we're recovering from that event years later. It's now 14 years removed.
Because it's still going to have an impact.
Right.
Like, change
A
it,
huge
try and change
impact,
it all
right.
you want, but
so there's a
only
bunch
so
of things that
much.
happen that progress from that instance. So that doesn't give away much about Picard, but it's about them recovering from everything that happens 14 years ago when a bunch of stuff with the Romulans goes awry and the Federation is either going to save them or not save them.
And you sold me on that because I feel like in movies and representations, you get a lot of like these big moments, but you don't see the impact of what this chess game is. There's also pawns,
Right.
not just the
Right.
king and queen or, what have you, and the core characters.
Right.
So
So
I
there's
think
a lot
that
of
the,
that.
the impact of it and having to get around that and also help that kind of stuff. Because
Right.
things blow up in Star Trek. Planets go, go
what happens
crazy, and
next?
you get rid of the bad guy. What happens when you get rid of the bad guy? It's
Yeah.
not going to just, all the problems aren't going to go away.
Right. Everything changes and more. So it's pretty
Exactly.
interesting.
That's very cool. I like that.
I've really enjoyed it. Again, say what you will about some of these older Star Trek The Next Generation movies. I rewatched one of them and it was great. If you look at it as a comedy, it's one of the best movies ever. Oh, Star Trek Insurrection's comedy gold. Comedy gold. Worf goes through Klingon puberty.
Oh no! You're
Comedy gold.
kidding me.
It's gold.
My mom was a huge Trekkie. I saw things here and there growing up in the back of my head,
yeah.
but not too much.
Heck yeah. I love it. We're sponsored by no one yet, so one day. But
Actually.
I'm shelling out all right, I'm sure we got some, but CBS All Access has not given me a dime to recommend Picard. But I paid my money to watch
I
because
wish.
it's been worth it.
If you want to, though, we are here.
We're
We
here
are
and we're
right
doing a
here.
good job. Right, power positivity. All right, so that's what I've been watching. Check out
Hello,
Picard. We're
Larry.
halfway through. Oh, look at that, old friends.
Old
All right,
friends.
so that's what we're watching. Let's move forward to now just here's some of the stuff that we like to recommend. All right, so this is what I call wait, what do you love? Wait, what do you
Wait,
love?
what do you love?
I'm going to tell
All
you
the
something I
things.
love, and it's this guy right there. There he is. All right, this guy's name is Chris, and he runs a YouTube channel called Comic Tropes.
Go back.
I just
Go
watched
back
this
one.
fellow. No, we're there. All right, that's what's next. All
Oh,
right?
that's okay.
Yep.
Woo, multiple screens.
This guy's doing a great job, all right? And I got to recommend him a lot. Check out the Comic Tropes YouTube. It's a good history lesson from just a regular guy. It's not like his stuff is super HD. His stuff's taped on the wall, but man, Chris does a great job. He really cares about comics, the culture. He grew up in it. He's a little closer to my age, which is none of your business, but grew up in the 80s and the 90s and really has a good insight and a pretty even kiltered view of a lot of things. And he talks about the tropes of movies, all these tropes of comics, rather, all these things we see a lot in certain comics that certain writers do, that certain artists do.
And that's an important one for me because I don't want to hear someone's bias come through too much.
Right.
I want to be
not
informed.
very
I want to
biased.
hear, like you said, a middle ground with it and just have what's happening so you can kind of, if you want to continue doing your own deep dive of it or find out more or whatever, then you get your own opinions in there as you rightfully should through your own research.
Yeah.
So,
remember,
that's
don't
great.
hate
I love
anything
that.
until you watch it, just like with you and Baby Yoda.
Exactly.
Oh, it feels like this.
Yeah.
No,
I'll get there. I'll get there.
I know it's
but,
hard.
you
Listen,
know.
you see how you haven't seen that? Here's
Lovely.
my confession. I'll confess. Confess.
Finally,
I'll confess.
I want to hear
I'll
it.
confess.
It better be good.
I haven't seen the Joker yet.
Oh,
I
man.
know.
I'm
I
so
gotta watch it.
disappointed in you. We just talked about Batman.
It's
You haven't
on these
seen
lists.
Joker.
I'll see it.
That's what it is. It's on the list. We'll get to them.
I just saw that Harley Quinn movie before I saw Joker yet. How did that happen?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one yet. So,
I know.
buddy, you're falling behind.
And yet I'm right on time. We can't. There's too many things. But either way, all I've been doing is watching this fellow while I draw, while I do work, do this, because they're just good documentary style slideshow things, all about good histories, good people in comics, even some of the negatives, some of the things, but all just pointing out some of the tropes. And then that was the guy I was quoting before. Your mileage may vary. It's like I wasn't a big fan of the art, but your mileage may vary. Like, it's a good attitude to have when he is being critical of something, you know. But it's a really good YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. I just watched him go from like he was just slowly creeping along, right? And all of a sudden, one of his videos really hit it. And he got 20,000 subs
for him.
in
That's
like a
what it
weekend.
is.
And I was watching it grow, and it was exciting. Congratulations, Chris, for getting over 100,000 subs.
Good
You're
for you.
inspiring us all.
Kudos it is. This is
heck,
hard to do.
yeah.
People don't realize what it is to have to put out the content consistently. You
Yep.
have to do the research to
Yep.
have the want even to get on your butt and like, okay, what do I have to do this? The setup of it. It's a whole thing, a whole process.
You
and
gotta have good graphics.
yeah,
I'm making graphics all day.
What? Who's good at making graphics?
I
Who's
love
good at
making graphics.
I love these graphics.
That's
You did
right.
a beautiful job.
Thank you. Speaking of graphics, let's get freaked out. Oh my goodness.
Let's get freaked out.
What?
I love getting freaked out.
What do you love, Avery? Wait, what do you love?
What do
Good
I love?
Lord, it's Nicolas Cage.
I love this. This
Oh
is what
my
I love
God.
right now. Let me tell
Oh
you, I
my
love this so
God.
much right now.
Holy Lord.
So back to the fact that I can talk about horror and sci-fi forever and a day. But this is actually very, very new. You can still catch it in some indie theaters right now. Physical copies just got released yesterday. It's sitting in my house. I cannot wait to go see it again. Hey, so Nicolas Cage, whoever, wants to hate on some Nicolas Cage, here we're back to
Or
this
love
thing.
on him.
Or love on him.
Bees.
I love it. I love it. I think he's magical, and his performance in this one is one of my favorites that I've seen to date. And if you're a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, which I definitely am, this is a Lovecraft horror. It's actually a remake, and it's phenomenal. It did that
the
thing
color
in-
out of space for you audio
Color
listeners.
out of space. Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. Well, this is going to be on podcast form as far as just audio goes too. So thank you. That's very nice. I almost forgot about that. But the horror, there's a big moment, and I look for these things in horror. There was a moment that I was just like,
Really?
and I was like, I was tripping in theaters. I wanted to die. I was flipping out. It's beautiful. They did they went for it, and they reached for it, and they made it surprising and perfect and just natural to the world that it was in. Phenomenal movie. You can still catch it in indie theaters. We still have it playing here at our indie theater in town. And pick up physical copies. I'm even gonna get the vinyl because I loved it so much. Vinyl or horror music is one of my favorite things. Like John Carpenter, all that stuff. I look for some very, very, very good cinematic audio as far as horror movies goes, and this one does it with that for me too. So
That's fantastic.
amazing. Go
There you
see
go.
it. This is what I love.
Lovecraft.
This is what I'm watching. This is what I love right now.
Right? There you go. You got to check out these.
Nick Cage, colors, horror, scary
There you go.
things.
So let us know what you're watching. Let us know in the let us know, and then maybe that's some of the things that we wind up watching and talk about. And I think that it's always good to help people when we get recommendations. We'll shout you out too.
I do. We're lots of people, lots of different opinions and inputs and groups, and please share.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
And that's how you find out about new things.
do.
You just share with your friends, right?
What?
You
Look
gotta
at all
share
these
with your
friends.
friends.
Hi,
I love it.
friends.
I love it.
Friends.
Hello,
friends.
Yes, it's
Friends everywhere.
That said, I want to. Speaking of friends, thank you
Thank you for being here. Look at you sitting here talking to the camera and hanging out with me right now.
This is a dream come true. Hopefully it's a dream come true for you to watch and enjoy. I know a lot of people talk about podcasting. If you are the type of person that enjoys this sort of thing, you are watching some brand new things happen with a guy that's living his dream, and that's really important. So thank you very much for inviting me to join your group of friends. Again, don't make your friends do the things you want to do. Make friends with the people doing the things that you want to do right there. So it's been very, very exciting. This was really fun. You can see my motor mouth was revved up, and I came ready to rock with all these graphics and nonsense.
Yep, the only person that can out-energy me is this guy right here.
I'll tell you, you definitely got some of that wrestling energy. I see it.
Go through. It's so hard. It comes
I see
through.
it. We'll talk about some of that coming up. We got lots of fun things planned every single Wednesday. Hang out with us. It starts at 6-ish. I think that's the time to start. 6-ish. 6-ish is a good time. We'll see how long we go. How long did we go?
You're at an hour 23.
Oh, man.
Hey, good job, man.
I was hoping we make about an hour. So this was a good long start. I think in the future they might be a little shorter. Who knows?
So.
Maybe we break them up into 1-2 parts in the future. We'll see what happens.
There's a lot of fun things to talk about.
Make sure you follow us on all that social nonsense. I am at Frankenstyle, and on everything, whether it's that Twitter machine, Instagram, or Facebook itself, I am your BFF, your best Frank forever. Just go follow me on all the stuff.
Frank forever.
Follow me doing all my stuff, living my dreams as I'm trying to do all this stuff, make art, make it happen, make a living, and make a difference.
And
That's
share
the
it
whole
with
idea.
people.
Yep.
Grow with people. Let me see your artwork. I want to see yours too.
That's exciting.
Amazing.
I would love if we got some artwork, some fan art. It's super fun. I love that.
Fan art.
Where else can we follow you? At Avery and Things.
Avery and Things. I'm a social media manager by trade, so Instagram is my personal living portfolio at this moment. So follow me on Avery and Things. I also have an Avery and Things channel within the Wait What Media Group channel as well. So all my stuff is on there. As far as Wait What Media Group goes, we have lots of content for you to see. We stream Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock, Wednesday being the official podcast spot. So whether you want to find us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, that's where you can find all of us. We do have Patreon as well. We have some cool behind the scenes content that's going to be put up on there. A new game is going to be featured with some exploding kittens and fiery ball drinks. Ooh. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be super great. And yeah, you can also find the links to all of our Instagram accounts within the descriptions of YouTube or Twitch. So make sure you follow all the stuff. Give it a share, give it a like, give it a follow. Everything helps. Everything.
Right. That's right. Thank you so much. I hope we're a big help. I'm Frank Powers. Again, your BFF, your best Frank forever, Prince of Promotion, King of Commotion, Master of Ceremonies, and Ambassador of Entertainment, a certified phonologist from the clean streets of Tucson and the School of Hard Knock Knocks. Hey, Avery, knock knock.
Are we going to do jokes right now? I wasn't prepared for jokes. Who's there, Frank? Who's there?
Woo.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I'm excited as well. Thank you, Avery. This was the best thing ever.
Thank you. High five.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. We did it. One down. Tune in next Wednesday, 6 o'clock.